What's going on YouTube? My name is ginj-tcg or Chris, and today I'm back with a crazy deck that a lot of people seem to have forgotten about. Charizard EX, one of the top dogs in the Scarlet Violet era. However, not many people are running it. Now with that being said, there was two people who actually took this deck to the Seville special event, and actually both of them made day 2, and they had a very similar list. Mine is built off of Edouard Luque's list. I mean, mine is the same 59. I feel like between the two of them, they actually more or less have the same 50 cards. The only card I changed is Mela, which I'll get into, but for the most part, Charizard EX is a card we have not thought about in a while, and I feel like with the format being very slow, being very Gardevoir, very Dragon Ball dominant, and even decks like Raging Bolt, you know, play a big factor, you know, because they're good at taking down the stage 2 decks like Dragapult. It can deal with Archaladin very well, stuff like that. I feel like Charizard actually could fit very well in the format. We just have to change how we're playing Charizard, and I think these two people have kind of cracked the code on how to reintroduce this Pokemon, and I was kind of going through and I realized, and I apologize if I missed it, but I didn't really see many people running a Charizard deck recently, like trying to get that back out there, so I figured, hey, you know what, I might as well give it a go. I played it with Enzork, and it was a ton of fun. It was very strong, and I feel like, you know, as an archetype by itself, I still think it's insanely strong, and I think this really plays into that. So if you don't know what Charizard does, you have 330 HP, you do 180 damage, and you take 30, you do 30 more damage for each prize card your opponent has taken. So the later in the game it is, the harder your swing realistically. And if you need a KO a basic EX Pokemon in the early game, boom, Max Belt. If you need a KO a Dragapult in the mid game, boom, Max Belt before you one-shot it. So that's how Charizard kind of fixes the math for itself. Now I feel like a lot of people have been playing it with Dunsparce and not Dunsparce at all, with Dusknoir and Pidgeot and stuff like that, because that's how we're used to playing Charizard. And I think with rotation happening, we need to learn how to adapt the card, and that's why we are playing the Dunsparce line with Runaway Draw plus the Dudunsparce EX with the Tenacious Tail attack. You can essentially one-shot Raging Bolt when it's sitting in the active spot, because chances are they've got a Latias, a Fezandipiti, a Squawk, you know, probably a couple Ogerpons, might be a backup Raging Bolt. You guys get the point. We're going to do 60 damage for each of their EX Pokemon in play and blow up whatever's and on the board for them, and then we can just rod back our Dudunsparce. We can quick search it back out, and boom, we could take 2 to 4 prize cards very, very easily with Dudunsparce, and at that point, we could just clean up a late game KO with Charizard EX, no problem. So I really, really like the combo. And then we're playing just a 1-1-1 line of Pidgeot, which is drastically different than anything Charizard's played. But I think that's because we're leaning more into the Dudunsparce build. And honestly, I feel like the Dudunsparce is a solid draw engine in the current format. I think this is kind of a perfect one, especially for something like Charizard. Drawing 3 cards more often than not, especially when we're playing a very supporter-heavy deck to deal with Badoo item lock, you know, is fine. We're also playing the 1 copy of Chi-Yu with Mega Fire of Envy. You do 50 damage plus 90 more damage if any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn. The reason is that is a super good one-of is because that can one-shot Teal Mask Ogerpon because of weakness damage. And we can power that up with Mela, since we are using that attack if we got KO'd, and Mela can accelerate that Fire Energy on the Pokemon that got KO'd to the Chi-Yu, and then draw us up to 6 cards and hopefully get us some more tools to use in the later game. So now, to break it down with the supporters, we've got 3 Boss's Orders, 3 Ionos for general consistency. We got 2 Jacqs and 1 Brock Scouting to get us those evolution Pokemon, or if you're playing Brock Scouting, get us the basic Pokemon to set up our board space under Badoo item lock. We got 1 copy of Arven, which could function as Buddy-Buddy Poffin, Rare Candy, or more importantly, get us the Max Belt needed to take those KOs earlier. If you're using it in the mid game and you didn't draw into Boss's Orders, boom, that's your counter catcher for down on prize cards. And if you're not, well, then you're in a good spot anyways. Then we got the 1 of Mela, which I talked about. 1 of Turo is massive to heal the damage off Charizard EX, since not many decks can one-shot 330 very, very quickly. So if you could Turo up a Charizard, for example, against Guardy, after your opponent does a Drift Bloom attack and doesn't successfully take the KO, you could just Turo that away, take another attack with the Charizard, and boom, just get ready to roll with that. And then we got 1 Morty's Conviction, which is amazing against all the Area 0 decks. It's just a discard 1 card, usually an extra Buddy-Buddy Poffin from your hand, and then boom, you're drawing like 6, 7 cards if they got a massive bench. And the 1 of Briar, I think, is how this deck works around Gardevoir. I think Briar is absolutely crucial because it's, without playing we're not playing Dusknoir, so we can't manipulate the price rate as easily, but I feel like Gardevoir as a whole is going to try to 2-4-6 a deck like Charizard, and they're really easily able to. So Briar is actually not too hard to pull off, and I think Briar is a great way to work around that, and you can also just work on Gust and then swinging for weakness on the Gardevoir and taking them out that way and 2-4-6ing them. And then for items, you know, just as consistent, we're not playing an insane amount because we want to lean more into the supporters. Do count for Badu, but we got 4 Buddy-Buddy Poffin to get us all of our basic Pokemon, as well as Fan Rotom, which I guess I forgot to mention. Buddy-Buddy Poffin equals Fan Rotom, and that just means you got all your Dunsparce, and also you got yourself a nice Mimikyu out, a nice little punch swing into a Drift Bloom, something like that. Fan Rotom, honestly, very, very clutch card. But then we do have 3 copies of Ultra Ball as well as Rare Candy. Now, we're not playing 4 copies of Rare Candy because we're playing 2 copies of 2 different Charmeleons to help us evolve without Rare Candies, again, because Badu is so relevant right now. And then we got 2 copies of the Nest Ball, 2 Rod to recycle all the Pokemon and energy needed, and then 5 basic Fire Energy as well as the 1 Jet Energy. And I really like the Jet Energy because that can just pull the Dunsparce into the active spot without the worry of retreat or Turo. You can use Fan Rotom to take a punch KO on something if that's, you know, what's in the active. You know, just take out a Badu nice and easy with Fan Rotom, save your Charizard in the back end, stuff like that. So overall, I definitely really, really like this list. I think, you know, we've all seen Charizard before. It's not like there's anything super, super crazy about it. I just think it's fallen off like hard recently. And I think with the 100% conversion rate it had in the Seville, what do you call it, special event, I think maybe now we should take a look again back at Charizard. So yeah, without any more to be said, just hop on over to TCG Player. Got that affiliate link in the description down below. If you're going to TCG Player for any singles, decks, or deck accessories for any card game, doesn't matter what, make sure you use my link. And when you just order stuff within 48 hours, going there anyways, you support the channel in huge ways. So thank you so much, everyone who's been doing that. And yeah, I mean, hey, let's get back into it. Let's see what Charizard EX can do in our current form. Welcome to match number 1. We are up against Gardevoir EX, and we leech you. My opponent puts an energy on Cleffa, which is interesting because Cleffa has a free attack and a free retreat, so that energy literally could not leave if they wanted it to. I love the Artazon top deck. I do not think I'm gonna play it just because I don't think I have the. Don't want to give my opponent anything to do. I'm just gonna Arven for the Buddy-Buddy Poffin, and honestly, that is such a fine start because all we do is we take Charmander and Fan Rotom, and we got ourselves a massive game. Because now we just fan call, we bring our Dunsparces out, a little Pidgey, you know, just for good measure, and then boom, all of a sudden our hand is looking like super valid. We got Jacq next turn, Pidgeotto in hand, we'll take our time, set up, do our thing. For now, do I attach retreat? Because I'd love to KO Cleffa. Maybe they were just putting the energy down to get a card out of their hand. That would be pretty smart. I think for now, honestly, I am just going to attach the energy. If I could draw into another energy next turn, even if I use Mega Fire of Envy and I just attack, I will still kill Cleffa, which seems pretty good to me. And I don't have any energy in my discard, so I can't use what do you call it, Flamebringer, so I'm just going to pass for a turn. If I had Ultra Ball or something and put some energy in the discard, I totally would have, just to bring it back with that Flarebringer, set ourselves up for the, you know, energy acceleration, but it's not the end of the world if we can't do that anyways, because Charizard is a natural energy accelerator, and I think that's why I kind of like the synergy of this deck so much. In terms of like the single prize, you know, the meta decks that use single prize attackers, it's really just Gardevoir and decks like that, which don't have much HP. So using Assault Landing, you know, using, not Iono, using Mega Fire of Envy is enough to switch that prize trade up. And keep our Charizards lined up in the back end to be our big swingers. This hand is actually nuts, I'm not gonna lie. Especially if I get Rare Candy here. Oh my god, that would be great. What was I saying? I don't even know. And then we just go in with Charizard, take down Gardevoir EX. I mean, we got this matchup. I believe in us. We don't have Dusknoir, so we can't like bully, you know, both Kirlia and Ralts on their bench right now. But that's okay. I mean, we'll make it work. They're making their hand super small, which is pretty annoying. They're gonna have double Kirlia, so there's almost nothing we can do to stop Gardevoir coming down next turn. But that's okay. I mean, they'll have a huge hand, and they'll have a big bench too. Well, you can't stop them all, huh? They'll get Pidgey and Drifloon. Okay, so I have not seen a Gardevoir deck that runs a Pidgey online. That's going to be a little annoying to work around. The last thing Gardevoir needs is a consistent search engine, because I don't feel like dealing with that, but we'll make it work. Oh my god, the top deck of all top decks. We are going to go Rare Candy into Pidgeot, because Pidgeot can help us search for Rare Candy to go Rare Candy into Charizard. I've also got the Dunsparce to evolve, and I'm curious, I don't know what our play is here. I'm almost tempted to go Boss and take out Kirlia and just try to limit my opponent's ability to get Gardevoir in play next turn. I don't need to Iono them. I mean, they have 7 cards in hand. If I give them 6, I give them 6. I think we go what? Runaway draw first. See if I draw into Rare Candy Boss or Boss, because if I do, then I know I could quick search for the other one and I get bought. Perfect. That's huge. And then I got the energy to retreat as well. Yeah, this works. Okay, so then we're going to go quick search for Rare Candy. I'm going to double check how many energy are in the deck because we are going to be running low. It is a Charizard deck, so we only play 5 copies, and we got 2 of them left in the deck, which is pretty perfect, actually. So we'll go Rare Candy right now. Evolve into Charizard. I'm going to attach both the energy to Charizard right on over here. Just put some pressure on my opponent. I feel like that's going to be the best way to deal with Gardevoir right now. And then we're going to retreat back down over here. We will... do I attach this energy anywhere? Actually, I feel like I could attach it to GU, right? Because I'll have a big single Prazzer in the active spot. I could search for Mela, draw into a big can with Mela. That would feel pretty good. And I think, too, I want to Buddy-Buddy Poffin. I do want to get out another Charmander this turn. We still do have Fez in the deck. I want to hold a Nest Ball for Fez if I can. That way I've got another Charmander that I'll be working on in the back line. But for now, we'll swing 360, take the first prize card off our opponent's Curlia. So now if they don't have Rare Candy in hand, they might be a little stuck. I know it wasn't like necessarily the most optimal thing. It's like, oh, there's another Ralts, you know, it's I didn't really, did I limit them that much? And the answer might be no, and that's okay. I just feel like, you know, it's better than KOing Clefla. I really don't want that energy going in the discard pile. I'd rather that stay there. Now my opponent needs one more card to pull off their big bad, you know, Gardevoir that could help everything, Oko, whatever I've got in play, and that's fine. I'll search out another boss with quick search, and I'll take 2 prize cards off Gardevoir. I mean, however we got to make this work, we'll make it work. Honestly, I don't even hate a boss line on Pidgeotto or Fez. Oh my god, yeah, there's so many options for us to deal with some big 2 prize KOs. We'll see though. We'll see. They got 9 cards in hand, and they do have the Rare Candy Gardevoir, so I was not able to stop them. But there's only 3 energy in this card, so as of right now, 3 energy is not enough for Drifloon to one-shot everything, and they're attaching an energy to Gardevoir, so I guess they could get 4? No, because then if they retreat into Gardevoir, they can't retreat again to get a 4th energy and discard for Drifloon. Gardevoir would just be their active attacker, and if that's the case, well, Burning Darkness KO, and I'll call it a day. We'll take 3 prize cards with our Charizard EX in total, which means I've gotten my value out of Charizard, and that's really all I care about. And they are actually just going to boss up Fan Rotom. Okay, I mean, hey, we can make that work, right? We got Jet Energy in the deck for a reason. Didn't actually check if it was there, to be honest, but that's fine. I don't know. Get something going. They go Grasping Straw, drop to 7. Okay, I think here's where Iono. Give myself a new hand and try to look for Jet Energy or something. Getting another Iono just makes it seem like it's fate. And yeah, an energy to retreat. I know I can't play boss on Guardia, that's fine. I'll try to drop myself on an even prize card. We get Charmeleon. It's pretty sweet too right here, actually. And you know what? As much as I hate to quick search for an energy, I feel like it is our best play here. Again, a Rod on the following turn, and we will be good to go. I don't want to Dunsparce or Morty's. Well, I can't Morty's. I did play Iono, but I was going to say I don't want to Dunsparce because, yeah, it's literally only Jet Energy in the deck. The chances of drawing into Jet are so unbelievably low. It's not even funny. I think we'd get more value. You know what I could do, too? Actually, is just swing with Fan Rotom. That doesn't feel bad. If there's no stadium in play, this attack does nothing. I was like, oh, I'll Jet Charizard, bring it to the active swing for KO. They have a full bench. They're going to have multiple Gardevoirs established. Whatever. At this point, let me just take a KO Fan Rotom. If you want to deal with Charizard, you're going to have to boss it up, because I'm using my Fan Rotom to put me back on the even prize card. So now, ideally, all I do to clean up the game is take a boss KO on Fez. I have 1 boss in hand, and then boss KO Gardevoir EX, or vice versa. KO Gardevoir first, then Fez. I've got 2 boss in hand, 2 prize Pokemon in play that I will try to deal with as soon as possible. Monkey Dory is the Pokemon to watch out for. I mean, Monkey Dory charmed Drifloon. Enough energy in the discard pile, and my opponent can actually swing for 330 damage in 1 turn. So that could be pretty bad. And yep, there's the Dark Energy, there's the Psychic Energy, but we're only at 4 energy in the discard pile. I'm pretty sure we're going to need a 5th before I start getting real worried. And even still, the Gardevoir, actually, I think maybe should they have promoted Gardevoir EX when I took the KO? Because then they could have attached an energy to Gardevoir, retreated, there would be 5 in the discard pile, and they had the Arven as well to pull out the Charm. I feel like that might have been the play for him. But then they wouldn't have a way to boss up Charizard unless they have Counter Catcher in hand, which I feel like they play 1 or 2 copies of, so that actually isn't the most unlikely thing. But no, they're going to go for Ultra Ball, get the 5th energy in the discard and the Charm, take out Pidgeot, and now they actually might just have it because they could use Quick Search for Counter Catcher and just take up Charizard that way, which I'm not going to lie, that would be pretty problematic because I really don't want to deal with Drifloon, and if I just leave Drifloon there unanswered, well, I mean, I'll just, whatever's in the active the turn after is probably cooked. And yep, there's the Charm. We'll see the retreat. They've got all the energy they need in the discard pile. But they don't have access to Monkey Dory the damage off and still take the KO on Charizard. I don't know. I mean, they got Quick Search, but I don't know how my opponent gets around this. They can't go Boss because they played Arven. They can, however, go Counter Catcher. We're going to see the Quick Search pop now. And I'm curious to see what my opponent takes out of their deck. I don't know what else would be worth it. I feel like they just should have promoted Guardy to get that extra energy in the discard, but more importantly, they could put damage onto it since they need to retreat for Drifloon, and then they could Monkey Dory, go Counter Catcher and everything. I feel like promoting Pidgeot here wasn't totally the safest play. And they go Brilliant Blender. Okay, yeah, actually, you know what? That would work, because then they could get extra energy in the discard. So they could still fully set up Drifloon, while also getting enough energy in the discard pile that they could put 60 damage on, or 30 damage, I guess, on one of their Pokemon. Gardevoir EX most likely, and then they could still go for that Monkey Dory line, but they're actually only going to get rid of 1 energy. So how many is there's 6 in the discard? They got the 7th in play, and they got 1 dark energy there. I mean, I guess that's fair. They got rid of Artazon. They probably only play Artazon, so this stadium is probably staying here the rest of the game, which is fine. And then Badoo, which is really not going to be much help at this point either, so that makes sense. And now my opponent is going to promote Drifloon. We'll see if there is the Counter Catcher. If there's not, and they only take out Fan Rotom, my gosh, is that a massive win for us. They're going to go Psychic Embrace, get some damage down onto Drifloon. And I think if that's all they do, do I boss Fez or do I boss Gardevoir? I mean, I could boss Fez because it limits their draw, and then I would limit them to just Quick Search. I could also, because I would be doing 210, if I take Max Belt, no, I'd be doing 260. I'd still be short of a KO on Pidgeot. I need them to take 2 prize cards for that to happen, and my opponent has 2 energy left in play. They are going to put 1 onto Drifloon, so they're swinging for 300 damage right now, and they can accelerate a maximum of 1 more to any other Pokemon, but they're going to opt not to. And then they're just going to, I'm assuming, swing with Drifloon, unless you got Ball Scale on Pidgeot. That would be nuts. And they do. They do have Counter Catcher KO on Pidgeot EX, tying us up 2-2. That is unfortunate, but I think we might be able to work around it, because I can bring up... Oh, actually, you know what? I could... No, I can't Quick Search, because Quick Search is lost. I could go in with Fan Rotom again, but I think right now, I kind of want to just boss up the Fez, take a KO on that guy. I feel like that would be the best line for us. And we get a Dunsparce out of the deck. I am going to Artazon. I'm going to take out another Dunsparce, if nothing else, just to thin 1 more card out of the deck. I don't hate the position we're in right here. I do want to take a 2 prize KO. I need something else in hand. My opponent is swinging for 300. It's not totally there at 330. This is a bit more of a gamble, but we're going to go up 2 prize cards. And if I could get a Rod and Charizard EX, I've got game in hand with the boss's order. So we'll see if these 2 prize cards get us there. Ultra Ball and Brock Scouting. I'm not going to lie, it's actually pretty close. Brock Scouting might be a little useless, but we could search out an evolution Pokemon, which is nice. That could be Dunsparce or something. You know, Dudunsparce, excuse me, if we need to draw. My opponent's going to go Drifloon. They got no draw Pokemon in play. We'll see what they have in their hand. Iono would be pretty devastating, and we do know Gardevoir plays a whole lot of Iono right now. 4 Iono for research, I believe, was like the top build of Guardy that just took down the last special event. But I don't remember. I just know Gardevoir's been on an absolute tear. For now, though, we still have options. We're up in the prize race. We're up 2 prize cards, and ideally we just want to stay up 2 against Gardevoir as much as we can. And I feel like if this is what the Charizard matchup looks like, it's doable. Is it great? I mean, I wouldn't say it's necessarily like the most insanely favorable matchup ever, but against a deck that's been tearing apart regionals left and right, to have even a good matchup into it, I feel like is fine. I mean, they got Scream Tails down to good backup attacker. Oh, and they retreat. What? There's only 2 energy in the discard pile. I mean, you could swing for KO on a benched Pokemon, but if you do that, then my active is here, I go boss, I take out Gardevoir, I tell you to figure it out, no? That's interesting, actually. I have no idea what my opponent's line is. They take out another Curlia. I don't know what my opponent's going for at all, to be fair. They haven't played a supporter, though. They could still go Iono. They did play Quick Search. They did. Yeah, they're going to Psychic Embrace. There's only 2 energy in the discard pile that they could throw on Screamtails for a Roaring Scream, I guess. Maybe they're trying to wait for the Munkidori, Drifloon, full KO, and Charizard, like the following turn. I guess that would make sense, right? Because they're assuming I KO the active, and then they can promote Drifloon. No, they go Iono. Oh, yeah, this is where things get bad because I lose that copy of Boss's Orders, and that is a card I really, really needed right now. And it's the last one in the deck, and we're gonna get Turo Ultra Ball. Okay, I mean, hey, Ultra Ball is the Dunsparce, and that's good enough. We got two Dunsparce down. That is huge that we actually were able to get one down now. And I'm just going to Ultra Ball away Turo and whatever my top deck is and at least draw some cards. Try to fix something up for us. Pidgeotto, that is a card that can leave for sure. I am going to Artazon shuffle up the deck. I really need to get that Boss's Orders that I smacked on the bottom. I'm going to take another Dunsparce here. I kind of like looping my draw engines. It just feels pretty good. We're going to Ultra Ball away both of these Pokemon. We're going to take out not Charizard. We're going to take out Dunsparce. I guess I could have taken Fez too, but I really don't want any other 2-prize Pokemon in play. I want my opponent to figure something out with Charizard, and they will the following turn most likely, and I get Jacq Charizard EX. Well, I mean, I could use Jacq, and I could take out, what, Dunsparce and Charmeleon? Maybe I take out another Dunsparce. I don't need to take out Charizard. We've got one in hand. So I think I just rock with these guys, right? And then I'll run away draw one more time. Try to... Oh, no, I got Dunsparce down this turn. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I could evolve Charizard. All of our energy is in play or the prize card, so it's not going to do much for us. I think we just go Burning Darkness. And my opponent probably has the KO here. There's not much I can do about that. I just need to hope that they don't take 3 prize cards this turn, which I think would be pretty hard. And we get Counter Catcher, which is sadly not the energy I was hoping it would be out of the prize cards. Yeah, we're going to need a nuts runaway draw. And this is close, though. This is down to the wire. And you know what? Charizard taking this deck down to the wire, I'll take it, man. It's not the end of the world. We're going to get through this one, though. All we need to do is take a single prize KO. So, you know what? Actually... do we just kind of have game on board? Right? Because I'm thinking, if my opponent KOs my active, they take 2 prize cards. I promote Fan Rotom, KO Drifloon, because that's the only thing who could do it. And then I win the game. If they go for the KO on Rotom, Charizard exists. They need to win this turn, or I think we actually just kind of win, unless they still go Gardevoir EX. But if they attack with Gardevoir EX, they don't KO Charizard. And then I just swing into Gardevoir EX and I still win. So actually, I don't know if my opponent... I don't know what they do to get them around this, right? Yeah, you go Screamtails, sure, that's fine. And you take out Fan Rotom or something like that, I don't know. And then Charizard, boom, KO, we have 1 prize card left. Like, how does my opponent get around this? I'm not sure. They go Iono, put me down to 1, maybe? I mean, I feel like just our board state is solid. I don't know if we need more than that. They're weak to Dark Pokemon. Doesn't matter how many prize cards they've taken. Where's Swinging Oko and Guardy, period. And the rest of their Pokemon are very low HP. They're going to Adrenabrain right now. They could move the damage onto Charizard EX, and they could retreat Gardevoir EX into Drifloon and go for that big KO, drop down to 1 prize card, and again, Fan Rotom. Tell them to figure it out. What else do you do this turn? I don't think there's anything else. They go Iono to 1. That's fine. I think they're sleeping on this guy right here. The guy who I almost forgot to talk about in the deck intro is actually proven to be the best card in the deck right now, proving its value as a single prize attacker. Getting great value with the Fan Call to start us off with a super strong bench, and then closing out 2 massive KOs in the game. Probably this actually might be the most pivotal card in the deck. I'm not gonna lie. Yo, we go Fan Rotom, you lose. That's it. There's a stadium in play. We both play Artazon. You were not bumping that. I get Iono, doesn't matter. Swing for KO. Boom. Guardy is packed on up out of here. That is match number 1 with a huge win for the new Charizard deck. Now, Let's hop into match number 2. See if we can continue this positivity and go for the positive record for the day. I will see y'all. Welcome to match number 2. We took a mulligan and we're up against Roaring Moon. I'm curious to see if this is just a complete Ancient Box, single prize type deck, or if we're going to see Roaring Moon EX. I mean, either way, it'll make for an interesting game. For now, we do have Fan Call. I might have to Ultra Ball and get a Charmander out of the deck, and we prize Pidgey. Alright, that changes everything. Actually, do we prize the whole Pidgeot line? Are you for real? There's no way. Yeah, we actually prize Pidgey, Pidgeotto, and Pidgeot. You can't... Unless I'm going insane, I see none of them. Well, now I really need an Ultra Ball and take we do have one Charizard in the deck. Okay, so I could get rid of one Charizard here. And what is our energy looking like? Our energy, we prized one of them. Alright, well, I mean, hey. It's, welcome to the TCG. This is GinJTCG telling you how to prize all your useful cards. Avery, thank you for teaching me how to do this. I'm happy to show it off to everyone else. For now, we'll Ultra Ball. I'm going to keep Briar. I don't want to lose Jacq, though, for the following turn. You know what? We'll bin the Briar. It's not like I've got a playable hand, right? Or Pidgeot line. I don't know what's going on. Just give me the Charmander. This feels so bad. Hey, look. If nothing else, I know she's not pretty, but next turn I can Jacq for 2 Dudunsparce, and then I can Runaway Draw for 9, essentially. That feels pretty cool. I just need 1 Rare Candy off of that, and I'll be good to go. I mean, I could retreat the Fan Rotom, just throw up Charizard, assuming they don't KO it, and they get 2 Dunsparce down themselves and play the Artazon, so we could get a streamline of Dunsparce for the following game alongside my opponent. They're going to take down another Roaring Moon. I'm curious to see if this is... They play Explorer's Guidance, so they're not taking a KO this turn. Again, I'm waiting for that pocket Roaring Moon EX that I know they got. Frenzied Gouging is going to be super, super scary to work around, but we do have Assault Landing Fan Rotom to work around it, so I think that we can make it work. It's going to be a hard match for us. I would have loved to have a Pidgeot line here, especially if they bench a... what do you call... Oh my god, they're playing Cypher Maniac. Wait, is this my list? I played that in mine. They might be playing my list. That would be pretty cool. What do you call it? I feel like I haven't seen that in other Ancient Box lists, but I would have loved for them to bench a Roaring Moon EX a little early so I could get after it with the boss KO at Max Belt. That would have been awesome. So, however, we don't have Pidgeot, so the reality of that happening isn't super high, but, I mean, I'll give it a go. We'll see what we can do when we get another Fan Rotom down. I am going to wait on the Jacq. Or do I just play it now and just draw it in? No, because if I get Arven here off this Runaway Draw, that would be even bigger. No, I get... Actually, Buddy-Buddy Poffin is pretty sweet. And Iono. Iono's not bad, but I'll keep that one in hand. I think I like the Jacq line more. I'm going to Buddy-Buddy Poffin right now. I'm going to take Charmander and Dunsparce. And then we're going to Jacq for 2 Dudunsparce. Yeah, this feels right. And then I'm going to use Artazon, and then I'm going to use the other. 1 Rare Candy will be good. If not, I mean, hey, I've got all single prize Pokemon down. If I need to fall behind a prize card or 2, so be it. But nope, I'm going to get the Rare Candy after the first one. It's fine. I'm not going to change my play at all. I think for the most part, we're in a good spot. I want to keep the consistency the same way I was rolling. Actually, I really do like the Chi-Yu here, too, if I could use that on a single prize KO, maybe. Maybe take out a Roaring Moon EX after they KO me. For now... Let's Rare Candy first into Charizard, get the energy out of the deck. I don't really want to draw into those if I could avoid it. I do have 1 energy in hand that I can use to retreat. You know what, I guess I could attach that one to Charmander. It really doesn't matter. Fan Rotom's getting retreated regardless. And I'm going to Runaway Draw here again. Draw 3 cards. This works. This works. I'll gladly take this. We're going to attach this energy to Charmander. I will retreat the Fan Rotom. Save that guy as my backup attacker. And then I think we just swing for 180. I got Jacq in hand, so I could just... If they don't take a KO, I might honestly Jacq for Charmeleon to Dunsparce and just let that simmer there a turn. And we get Pidgeot EX out of the prize card. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that I actually successfully prized a 1/1/1 line of the entire Pidgeot the card thing. It's all gone. It's all there. We're gonna do this whole game without it because I'm not banking on getting Pidgey unless I get Pidgey literally out of my next prize card. This is the only way I even think about Pidgeot EX. But to do that, we would also have to dodge a KO and possibly dodge damage as well. I'm surprised they evolved their bench one, and they're leaving me with the single prize Dunsparce. I guess they don't want to give us me, and there's the Roaring Moon EX. I knew it was coming. All right, well, now I don't want to Jacq at all. I really just want to find my boss's orders. I want to take out that Roaring Moon before they could do anything. But I guess if we have to wait a turn, I mean, we wait a turn. I can't quick search. Oh, you know what I just realized too? They got the single prize Dunsparce out with the free energy retreat. They're not playing the 70 HP one around the board. They're playing some 60 HP Dunsparce too. Okay, that makes sense why they evolved the bench one, because they knew they had the retreat anyways. So right now they're kind of testing the waters, seeing if they have the KO. If not, they could go into the single prize Roaring Moon. If they do, I mean, there's the Frenzied Gouging line. And they get the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule down, which actually takes them out of range from Assault Landing. Oh, now things are getting interesting. Okay, I'm liking this. I'm liking this. It's alright. I trust in Chi Mela play to deal with that Roaring Moon then, if that's how we gotta do it. Ooh, do they have the energy switch? No way. No, they pass. That's big. That's actually huge for us. Alright. How do we do this? They didn't take the KO. I don't really have any way to draw cards. I could Iono. Give myself a new 6. Then I lose out. Do I lose out on anything I'm really, really worried about? I mean, not really, to be honest. Right? I kind of want to save Jacq almost. Or do I just play the Jacq here and hope they got like a dead hand? How many Sada have they played? Just the one? Do I know they have another in their hand? I don't think I do. I'll do it. I'll Iono them to 6. It's one less card in their hand. We kind of have a good setup. I mean, I could Jacq, get 2 Dudunsparce out. It didn't really do me anything too insane. I do have Ultra Ball in my hand, so now I can safely get out Dunsparce. I could get rid of Dudunsparce for sure, and probably Charmander, because then I could rob that guy back later. I mean, we're down at Charizard too, right? We get rid of Charmander, Buddy-Buddy Poffin. No, Dudunsparce EX. I want to say Buddy-Buddy Poffin for when I lose the Dunsparce. And we have another Charmander in the back here. We're chilling. I'm going to take Dudunsparce here. And you know what? Actually, I might just leave that. There's nothing I could search for that's going to change anything right now. Or if I run away draw and get Charmeleon. Oh, that would feel good. And then I could Buddy-Buddy Poffin, take out Dunsparce and Charmander. Just keep the bench stocked. That actually feels pretty good. If I could get the middle evolution here, that would save me a lot of worry. I can't. But I got another Dunsparce. Well, if I must, let's do a little bit of thinning first. Let's take Charmander and Dunsparce. And then we'll evolve this Dudunsparce into Dudunsparce. And then he's runaway draw again. Just dig a little bit deeper in the deck. I don't think we saw enough cards this time. And you know what? We get boss. I got Dunsparce. I'm gonna flip those around literally the rest of the video. We'll take out Dunsparce, and I don't rod yet. I wait for the active to get KO'd, and then I figure something out. For now, we'll swing 180, take a prize card. My opponent, more likely than not, is gonna Frenzied Gouging for KO, so it's gonna be how can I respond and take 2 prize cards off of that. I got Nest Ball, which is Fezandipiti, and that draws me 3. And you know what? At this point, we're 2 prize cards ahead. I just need to stay 2 prize cards ahead. Ideally, they put 2 Roaring Moons in play at some point, maybe even a Fezandipiti of their own. I doubt they run it, though, and then we work off that. They're going to Ultra Ball, take out the Dunsparce here. You know, I might have taken out the Sadas from their hand, and they get rid of the Dunsparce EX. That's smart. I mean, we really don't have any EX Pokemon in play. I'm kind of working this board space with just the same draw engine that they are. You know, we're going single prize for single prize, so I like the trade we got going on here. They're going to Artazon and fail it. They should have waited to do that after they evolved and used runaway draw. I feel like that would have been the safer play, so they could get another Dunsparce back in play, just in case they don't get the play they're looking for, and I Iono them truly into nothing. But no, they got the vessel. They could get energy, unless there's too many in the discard, but I don't think there is. Yeah, there's none in the discard pile. Actually, even if they had Sada, they couldn't use it. That's wild. You don't see that too often. But they got the manual attach free retreat now with Frenzied Gouging. I still need a little bit to make this work, but that's fine. We're okay. We are a-okay. They're going to take their KO. You know, I could even max belt Fan Rotom just to take this KO. Sounds crazy. I would do it. I fear nothing. We are going to promote Dunsparce of our own just because I can evolve and then throw this guy in the deck and then move out based on the play that's needed. For now, though, I think I want to go Nest Ball. Take out Fez, draw 3 before the runaway draw line. And then see how I can work my way around this turn. That doesn't help too much. Okay. That's fine. That's okay. I got runaway draw. I can definitely draw a big 3 here. I'll see the cards I get for a second, which will give me enough time to know if I could go in with Fan Rotom, if I get Max Belt or something like that, or I get Ultra Ball and Iono. Ah, man. See, but that doesn't really guarantee me much. That's the problem. I could take out another Dunsparce, draw 3 again. Sure. I don't really know how else to get around this. We're gonna Ultra Ball, get rid of Fan Rotom and Artazon. I guess if they got a Stadium Bump, they got a Stadium Bump. I'm gonna take out Dunsparce again, and I'm gonna draw another 3 cards. And I'm not rotting yet, just because I don't want to load the deck up with energy or something that can be a really bad card to draw into. I'd rather just run away draw here. I don't want a Morty's. We're only getting 3 cards, and I get another. Oh, man. Okay, I might have to just go Iono. And just hope that off the Iono I get the energy and max belt needed. Right? I mean, we could Buddy-Buddy Poffin, take out 2 Dunsparce. I mean, we got energy max belt in the deck. Actually, there's literally only 1 energy and obviously 1 max belt. I do need to rod to get more energy back. I could even bring back another Charizard EX. And then 2 energy doesn't feel too bad. I kind of like that line. Let's do that. The Dunsparce EX wouldn't be a great play either because, again, we're still out of KO range. So I think here, I mean, there's no energy in the discard. I could probably boss up that Roaring Moon and tell them to figure it out, but I think I kind of like the Iono play. Just put him back down to 4, see if they get the nuts in hand. I mean, for us, we need energy max belt. And I get the energy, don't get the max belt. Hey, I mean, not ideal, so be it. I mean, we could Assault Landing. It's not pretty, but it gets the job done. I mean, if they get boss on Fez, they get boss on Fez. I can hopefully go back in with an Assault Landing. Although if they do that, they get rid of the Stadium, and then my Fan Rotom would be useless. I literally just got rid of my 1 and only Stadium the last turn. All right, I mean, hey, you know, we're doing what we can. We're doing what we can. We knew this was going to be a hard deck to work up against. That Frenzied Gouging attack is just so powerful, and with the Ancient Booster Energy Capsule attached to Roaring Moon, I mean, the thing is more HP than I was prepped to deal with, which is 100% a misplay on my end, and they're going to get the Dunsparce out of the deck here. They're able to draw 3 cards. I think they really just need boss, but they probably only play 1 boss, maybe 1 counter catcher as well, but we're tied up on prize cards, so the counter catcher is not going to save them. They need to just get the boss off that runaway draw, and they get Earthen Vessel to get more energy in play. Good. Solid line for my opponent. Now, if they KO with Calamity Storm and get rid of the Stadium, that could be very disruptive to me, because it would stop me from getting although I did Ultra Ball Wave Fan Rotom, like rotting them back or something and using that 70 damage. I don't have another Stadium out. However, it also seems like it would ruin my opponent, since they would lose access to their Dudunsparces, and they've been relying on that Artazon way more than I have. I've been using my Buddy-Buddy Poffins to keep my little draw engines rolling. They are not. They are going to retreat into the single prize Roaring Moon, take the KO that way. I like that line. That's a fun one. That's fine. Doesn't change anything for me. I'm going to dig for boss. I mean, you take a KO on Fan Rotom, I'm going flip the script. I've got 3 bosses orders in the deck. I don't think I've used any yet. No, I have not. So yeah, that's fine. And they're jumping on an odd prize card, so you know what? Losing Briar may not prove to be the most miserable thing that we'll have to work up against. However, we still have to finish the rest of the game. There's a whole lot of game left in this one. We are only 4-4, 3-4 now. My opponent is taking that big KO on Fan Rotom. And I am going to promote Charmander. Right? I don't think I really have a choice. I kind of just got to go for it here. If nothing else, it's got the energy so I could retreat it. If I get... You know what I could do? I could take Chiyu. I get Rare Candy. Oh, yeah, that feels good. That feels really good. Because then I go flip the script, draw 3. There was a Mela route somewhere in here too, but no, we're like that. We get Charizard off the draw. Ah, it's awesome. That is awesome. We're going to evolve into Charmeleon down here. We're going to Rare Candy into Charizard EX. And we're going to Infernal Rain. I would love to Infernal Rain. I have no energy in the deck. Oh, cool. I didn't really think about that one. Good thing it's in my hand. Actually, you know what? We have Mela too. Does it have to go to a fire Pokemon? Such a basic fire energy to one of your Pokemon. No, it just has to be a fire energy. Actually, you know what? That kind of works out here. I don't really mind the Mela route, getting us some value onto Charmeleon. Let's attach this energy to the active. I mean, we could Artazon here, just to thin one more card out of the deck. Chi-Yu does how much? 140. You know, that's a perfect KO on a single prize Roaring Moon. I'll bite. I'll take it. I'll take it out. And we need a Rod. We got 2 Fire Energy in the discard pile. I don't really feel the need to Iono. They didn't really have too good a hand. There's nothing I could Arven for. Although I could Arven for Countercatcher and just take down. I didn't check if it was in the deck, though. Ah, man. No, I'll wait. I'll wait on the Countercatcher play. I like the Mela line. I don't need to do anything too insane here. I just need to keep these Charmanders rolling. Oh, this is huge. This is gross, actually. Yeah, in case my opponent pulls out some insane Iono or something, which there's no way they do in the deck they're playing, but I mean, like, what would I search for? If I go double Dunsparce right here, right, is there anything I could potentially search for? I don't think there is, so I think all I do is just Burning Darkness 270, or I look for Countercatcher. Never mind, there is something I need to look for. There is something I need to dig out of my deck. We need that Countercatcher. Can I get it off this last Dudunsparce? No, I cannot, but I get a Buddy-Buddy Poffin, so I could put those Pokemon back. This would be our last Buddy-Buddy Poffin, and that is fine. I see no problems with that. We're taking those out. Was it in the deck? It was in the deck. Okay, I just figured with everything else I had prized, I was like, I'm going to Arven, and then I'm going to realize my whole Pidgeot line plus my Countercatcher was prized. We're just going to Burning Darkness 270. If my opponent pulls off a Sada play to use Roaring Moon and KO my active Charizard, I mean, they would KO themselves, and I get the Pidgeotto. So Pidgey will remain in the prize cards. But yeah, as I was saying, if they go Frenzied Gouging and they KO themselves, we'll both be taking 2 prize cards. I'll have 1 prize card left. So will my opponent. I have Charizard EX already in hand, so I would need to Arven, take Rod, play the Rod, get the energy back in the deck, evolve into Charizard EX, and tell my opponent, hey, figure this one out for me. But no, if they just promote Charizard, they're really just hoping I don't have boss's orders in hand at this point. I mean, I will take out Roaring Moon EX if they don't mind, and just take my 2 prize cards, drop down to 1, because my opponent and I will both just be swinging into the active. I don't think either of our decks are going to do any bench damage, unless they gust around it. But no, they're going to go for the Sada. They're going to set up that Roaring Moon EX in the back line. Do they have the energy attach on the active Roaring Moon? It seems like they do. There is, what, 5 energy in play so far. They probably play 6 or 7 if I had to take a guess, and they just shuffle the deck. Oh my god, maybe they prized a couple energy. Hey, that would be fair. We prized the whole Pidgeot line. If my opponent no, they got the E-switch. All right. I mean, respect. They move the energy to the active, off the bench Roaring Moon, and they play Neutralization Zone. Oh no! Oh, this is bad, yo, Chi-Yu. It's looking like it's your time, boss. We are. Oh, that's a good top deck. I honestly might just hang on to that top deck, to be fair. I mean, is there anything? I don't think so. I think I legitimately just go boss on Roaring Moon EX. And I will have to figure out a way to deal with one of these guys with my Chi-Yu the following turn, but I like what we got to get it done. I mean, look, again, all we do is we go Arven for Rod, we evolve into Charizard. Instead of accelerating the energy on a Charmeleon, though, we just throw it on Chi-Yu. Chi-Yu swinging 140, and that would be enough. That would be plenty to do it. Now, what could my opponent do to disrupt that? And Iono would be pretty terrifying, but I don't know if Ancient Box or a Roaring Moon Box plays Iono. I seriously think this is actually like the list I ran, which is pretty sick. I mean, who else plays Cypher Maniac in the one of Koraidon? Like, come on. Come on, let me feel good. Let me feel good. Like, my videos are getting out there and people are truly inspired by them. I think this might be the first time I've ever seen a list that I'm like 78% certain is mine. Or most of mine. They definitely switched up the Dunsparces, but I like their switch. But you know what I mean? Like a list that is mostly mine in a video that I'm recording. So I'm pretty hyped about it. You gotta let me have this one. And if it's not, it's not. I mean, hey, I got excited for nothing. But regardless, I think we got the workaround. I think we can do this. And they take the KO, and we just go in with, we got flip the script, we got runaway draw, we got everything in case they somehow do pull off an Iono. We'll figure out how to make this work. They did play Sada, though. They did play Neutralization Zone as well the last turn, so we're not expecting an unfair stamp. We saw their ace spec. We don't need to worry about Iono. They already played their supporter for turn. They need another energy switch to move that energy off Roaring Moon is their biggest hope. That I just can't set up Chi-Yu. And they go Counter Catcher on the Chi-Yu. No on the Charmeleon. That's so smart. It's so insanely smart. However, actually, no, that is actually really going to matter now that I think about it. Cool. Well, how does one work around this? I did not see that play coming, and that is on me. There is 3 Charmanders. Okay, I really need that Arven for Rod. Huh. I could go in with Chi-Yu, accelerate energy. That doesn't seem as smart, though. I'll give him Charizard here. I need to use, like, both rods this turn, though, now that I think about it. I mean, if they take out Chi-Yu, that would be pretty bad, too. But then I could just try to go for a boss play on the Dunsparce on the bench, unless they get rid of those as well. This is interesting. Losing that Artazon is really proven to be bad news bears right now. And that Mela. I mean, what I would love to just Mela, manual attach, tell them I got game. It's not going to prove to be that way, though. I am going to go for... Oh, no. You know what? They might just win. Because now they'll swing for KO on Charizard EX. Oh, no. Oh, gosh. So maybe I just leave Dunsparce in the active. Let's Rod here. Let's take 2 of these guys back and an energy card. I mean, I had Turo in hand, too. I literally could have just picked up my Charizard. But then they still could try to swing for weakness on Fez. Like, Fez still does not leave play. And then some more energy would leave play, too. This is bad. Yo, my opponent might have gave me the work with a deck that I created. I mean, respect, honestly. can't get mad at that. All right, what do I do here? Definitely flip the script. If nothing else, I'll manual attach an energy to Chi-Yu. Oh, boy. I'm blaming this all on Pidgeot being prized. I don't know how, but that's why. That's why this is happening. Okay, let's get Charmander down. I don't think I can handle much else. You know what I could do, though? I could draw another 3. I really want to get another Charmander down just in case. I'm going to do this. I'm going to play Dunsparce here. I'm going to evolve into Dunsparce. I'm going to draw 3 more cards. And then, yeah, we get another Charmander. That's huge. I was going to say, if I whiff the Charmander off to the side, like, we're so cooked that it's not even funny. For now, though, I will attach this energy to Chi-Yu. And then we'll pass for turn. If my opponent has the boss's orders, I mean, well played. I guess they can't if they had boss E-switch, they would have had it no matter what, but we won't know. They just got boss's orders 4 game on Charizard EX. Yeah, I should have known, man. I literally made this deck with Neutralization Zone for this scenario and got cooked by it. Well, 1-1. See y'all in match number 3, I guess. Welcome to match number 3. Sadly, we do not open up with a great hand at all. We are going first, and we open up with just Dunsparce and nothing else. So there's, yep, just a whole lot of supporters. I'll pass for turn. I mean, it's not ideal. I'll see what my opponent has. If we need to just take an extra turn to evolve, and this is kind of how the game goes, I mean, it's okay. We do have a deck where we could make good comebacks. Just Charizard EX as an attacker can swing harder if we fall a little behind, take some bigger KOs, we'll make it work. Who knows, they might just put 60 EX Pokemon in play, and we'll swing with the Dunsparce EX, take the KO and Fezandipiti. And my opponent is playing the Hops Zacian deck. Oh, that's bad. That is a deck that can donk an active Dunsparce, and no, they just pass for turn. Oh, that's huge. Okay, well then. I almost don't want to Iono my opponent because they had absolutely nothing. So I think what I want to do here is go Arven for Buddy-Buddy Poffin Max Belt. Max Belt's prized. Okay, we are prizing absolutely everything we need. Where our... Okay, we've got our Pidgeot line, Fan Rotom, our Dunsparces, a Chi-Yu. We got enough of a Charizard line. I think we prized 2 Charizards. And we've got 2 rare candies. Okay, you know what? Good enough. I'll take it at this point. I feel like after last game, having something playable is good enough. So we're going to take Charmander, Fan Rotom out right now. I am going to... Am I not going to Fan Cone? No, it's my second turn. That's right. I blanked on it. It just felt like such a good first turn that I was like, oh, we're so live. No, that is not going to be how it works. That's okay, though, actually, because I'll get some good chip damage down on Fezandipiti, so Charizard can clutch up later. And honestly, do I go in with Pidgey here? You know, take a Pidgey off the prize, or out of the deck with the Nest Ball. I like it. And then we could just Assault Landing. We got Pidgeotto in hand for next turn. I do have Jacq, so I can take out Charmeleon and Dudunsparce, or even 2 Dudunsparces. And I can try to go for a Rare Candy Charizard. I don't even hate an Iono play, depending on how big my opponent's hand gets. It seems they did top deck the Snorlax, or we probably would have saw it last turn, and they do have the energy to attach to it. If they get another energy in Hop's Choice Belt, or Fan Rotom will fall, but for now, it doesn't seem like there's much going on in their hand, which is fine. I'm not going to Iono my opponent's hand if they're like this. Honestly, I might just take my time and go double the Dunsparce and try to set myself up just a little bit better. Because if I get Rare Candy Pidgeot or Rare Candy Charizard off the draw 6 of the Dunsparces, I feel like that would be even more amazing. And they're going to give me Hop's Snorlax, the single prize menace. That's fine. I'm not too scared of a Snorlax. I do want to get another Charmander down before my opponent goes for a good boss play and takes out my only Charmander. That would be bad. And we actually get a Dunsparce there. So you know what? I'm going to Jacq for 1 Dunsparce and 1 Charizard. And just try to start going to town early on my opponent. If I get the Rare Candy, I'd rather go with the Rare Candy Zard. Just guarantee myself everything I need to take the KOs, and that's not a bad card to look for. We are down our supporters, so even if we get Arven, which actually, didn't we play that? So I don't think it'll do anything. Yeah, we played the Arven, so even if we got it, we'd be stuck. And I get the other Charmander down, which is pretty huge. So we'll use this runaway draw before I worry about any rare candies, and I don't even get them, so that's no worry. We'll evolve into Pidgeotto. We'll evolve into Charmeleon. I actually don't mind a stadium bump here. I don't think. Just to get myself down a Dunsparce. I mean, yeah, I'll give my opponent, you know, some access to non-Roblox Pokemon like Double and stuff like that, but I think that's okay. I don't think I'm worried about that too much. I've got Nest Ball. I could even play Chi-Yu, depending on what they do. I'm not going to play Chi-Yu yet. But if we get Zacian, we do have Boss. You know what? I'll play Chi-Yu, because if they get Zacian EX down, obviously not with Artazon, but with something else, we'd actually be in a good spot to KO it with Chi-Yu. And you know what? If they use Hop Snorlax right now, they're going to do 80 damage to themselves and actually KO themselves. So this could set us up for a very, very interesting play right here. I definitely do not mind Chi-Yu in play. I like this bench. This board, I think, is like the most ideal board state that I've seen in a while. Just with many decks, and it's Arch Aladdin. Okay. So now that's a little trickier, because now our Chi-Yu, even if it was swinging for weakness, even if it was, it actually wouldn't KO. So I guess that is kind of annoying and something I'll have to worry about. But you know what? Whatever. I apologize for the yawn. It's getting late at night by the time I'm recording this. I seriously, my time schedule has been all thrown off, man. Minecraft phases are not for the weak. It just, everything else is on the back burner. And am I falling apart a little bit with all the other stuff I need to get done in my life? Yep. Am I going to change anything? Absolutely not. This is what I'm meant to be doing right now. And they are going to get the Hop's Choice Band down on their Snorlax to allow them to swing for KO, and they're going to go Boss's Orders. If I had to guess on the Charmeleon, yup, that is exactly who they take down with Dynamic Press. That's fine. I mean, look, Charmeleon for Snorlax, it's not the best trade. I'll take it. We could even go for a KO on Fez, although a KO on Duraludon, their only attacking Pokemon in play, would be huge too. We get Max Belt. That's big. That's actually really big. How much HP is left on this guy? 140. You know, we could KO Fezandipiti with a Max Belt on Fan Rotom, which would be ridiculous. But a play that's open to us. I'll just promote the Pidgeotto, though. It's a free retreat Pokemon. We can definitely make this guy work. And We'll see what my opponent has in store for us. Actually, that legitimately might be my route, is to go in with Pidgeotto. So we can Artazon here. I mean, I don't really want to take Fez. I mean Nest Ball, actually, because you know what? If I could get the Rare Candy going with Charizard, and then I can boss up their only Duraludon, I'd much rather that. So I am actually going to take the Fezandipiti for the flip the script, and I am going to draw 3 cards off this. And kind of see if I can get Pidgeot, if I can get Rare Candy, something of the sort. Nope, I'm actually not going to get either. That makes things a little more complicated. Okay, you know what? That's fine. Because they have, what, 140 HP left? Oh, no, this isn't 90. I'm thinking this guy's doing 90 damage. He's not. He's doing 70. That was almost a pretty bad misplay. All right. Well. How do we work around this? Since our bench is kind of tight, I mean, I really don't want to Iono my opponent. Their hand is dead. You know, so that's why we don't have to Iono them. Why am I worried about giving them a new hand? I can just Assault Landing for 70. I really don't need to do more than that. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, if they don't get their Fez out of the active, we're taking the KO. It's got 70 HP left. If they go in with their only Duraludon, take another KO on Fan Rotom, I mean, hey, that's fine too. I'll just flip the script again. And they're going to get a Nest Ball down and get a Latias EX. So they do have the free retreat, but honestly, Latias EX and Fezandipiti are 2 easy Pokemon to KO. So we'll see if my opponent retreats here. If they give me Latias, it's still 2 prize cards. And if they give me a Duraludon, well, that's a attacker that they will not have the following turn. So I'm not too or no, they go Duskull. What am I up against? There is so much going on. Hops Arch-Alladin with the Duskull line is crazy, and they get the Zacian EX and Snorlax down. Honestly, put Zacian in the active spot. No, they go in with a Duraludon, and they take Jacq to get Arch-Alladin out of the deck to allow them to swing for huge damage. All right, honestly, good play from my opponent. Good play from my opponent. Now, how do I get around this one is the question. I think what I want to do is try to go in with Chi-Yu and try to go for a boss KO on Zacian EX. I think would be pretty sweet. And just let this Arch-Alladin simmer in the back for another turn. Kind of force them to take another prize card or 2. And then try to boost my way up to a Charizard KO with Max Belt, maybe? I mean, they've taken, what, 2 prizes? So we're doing 240. Max Belt's 290. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, let me try to set up a Chi-Yu line. So we're going to throw Pidgeotto in the active. Again, do not want to Iono my opponent. They have 4 cards in hand. I really just that's what I needed. All right, we got 1 energy in the discard pile. I am going to use Artazon. I'm going to take out a Dunsparce here. And we are going to Rare Candy into Charizard. Okay. And then we'll search out the energy from the deck, because I should have some energy in the deck. I mean, there's only 1 in the discard pile. I would love to use Infernal Rain and take 3 out of the 4 energy in my deck. I will attach 2 of them to Chi-Yu. I will smack 1 on Charizard. I will use Flip the Script to draw me 3 cards. See if I pull a Dunsparce out of there. I do. Perfect. And I get Counter Catcher. Oh, that's insane. I might use that right now, in all honesty. I'm definitely going to use Runaway Draw. Definitely want to see a couple more cards in my deck. I get another Rare Candy and another Charizard. Not going to help me too much right now. I think I kind of just like the Rod play. Get our energy back. Get a Charmander line back. And then I can Buddy-Buddy Poffin bring up another Charizard just in case. I want to have 2 Charmanders down. We're definitely going to need them this match. I don't have Pidgeot yet, and that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. I could go Brock Scouting. Honestly, I could even save Counter Catcher just to see what they got in store. But I feel like I don't know if I'm going to have access to Counter Catcher again. So while it's here, I'd rather use it because we're doing what? We're doing 140. They're not taking weakness damage, which is fine. I'm not too worried about that. I just want to take that Hop Zacian and swing for 280. And then, you know what I could do, actually? Let's go Brock Scouting, because we could just search for 1 evolution Pokemon. I'm not using another supporter. Might as well just give myself Pidgeot EX. I mean, I feel like it's about time to get this little guy down. And I can use Quick Search and search out Basic Energy to just manual attach. I mean, do I need anything else? Like, I don't think so. So let's just do this. And then if my opponent KOs my active, I'll just Rod Chi-Yu and the 2 energy back. I feel like that would be plenty. So let's swing 280, drop down to 3 prize cards, and then put my opponent in an interesting spot. They've got 1 card in hand. They will have access to Fezandipiti to flip the script. They have a guaranteed KO on the active with their Chaladin, which is fine. And there are the other Charmanders in the deck. A little late for you guys. But that's okay, because they take a KO, they go to 3 cards, 3 prize cards left, as long as they have somewhat of a hand, whether they get like a... Ooh, they go Dusclops. Do you rip the Dusclops now, though? That would be crazy interesting. That Dusclops is going to become wildly useless pretty soon. And they go Hops Cram with Artazon. Oh, this is fun. And they got the flip the script, get them up to 4. If nothing else, they got Fickle Spitting. They can take the KO, go down to 3 prize cards. I'm going to promote Charizard. Charizard plus Max Belt and Boss's Orders should be KO on Archaladin. I'll have 1 prize card remaining, which means my opponent cannot use Dusknoir's ability or they will lose the game, and they would still have 3 prize cards left. And with a deck that seems to be just attacking 1 Pokemon at a time, with the exception of Zacian EX, who does not swing for KO on the bench, I think we should have match number 3 locked up. And yep, there is the energy attached and the Iono to put us at 3 cards, but I think that's okay because I need 2 cards. I need Boss's Orders and Max Belt. If they take a KO, I can shuffle the deck with Ultra Ball and get rid of Jacq in my top deck. And then I can flip the script, and with Ultra Ball, I can take Dunsparce. Yeah, okay, we got a line. And we're drawing minimum 6 cards plus a quick search this turn. So I really like this. Let's go in with Pidgeot, just because you never know where this match is going to lead us. You know, I'd like having the free retreat pivot just in case some other line opens itself up. I hate to get rid of Turo. But if that's what's got to go, I'm not getting rid of this energy. The energy is so tight in this deck. I will take a Dunsparce down. And then I guess I'll Ultra Ball away Turo and Jacq. I'm going to keep the energy. Our energy is super tight. I'd just rather keep that. And we'll take this guy over here so that I can... What do I do? Flip the script first and then runaway draw. I want to draw cards without an extra Dunsparce line in the deck. The deck is shuffled. I did not get the supporter of choice, so I will runaway draw now. I do have Morty's Conviction, but that's not going to help too much, and I get the Max Belt. That's all I needed. That is all I needed to see. We're going to quick search for Boss's Orders, and this is it, man. I mean, I think we got my opponent in a crazy spot. We'll take one of those Boss's Orders out of the deck. I'll play a Charmander just in case. I don't think I mind getting another Charmander down here. We're going to retreat into Charizard. We're swinging 270. I'll attach the energy to this Charmander here. And then we'll Max Belt the active, because I know I can just boss, take a KO on like Fez or Latias or something, but Archaladin is still a really good attacker, and if I could just take that guy out right now, I think that would be best for us. I mean, Cramorant isn't going to do anything anymore. I don't think they've got a way to get Snorlax set up this turn unless they play Dark Energy and for like a Monkey Dory and they go Crispin. Yeah, Fickle Spitting isn't going to work. We've got 1 prize card left. They can't Dusknoir. They lose if they Dusknoir. If they somehow KO my active, I got Mela and Rare Candy and the Dunsparce in hand. And again, I would have flipped the script to Dunsparce as well. So I can try to work up a huge Charizard play. And I got Quick Search to actually just guarantee me Charizard take the KO. Yeah, I think here, no matter what my opponent does, I think they're pretty much cooked. I think we actually got match number 3 on lock. So... I mean, we'll see. Blood Moon or Saluna? Okay, I mean, that's a little scary. But again, it's not going to deal with Charizard. You're swinging 240, and I got Max Belt attached. I'm swinging 320. So, yeah. You know, it's like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it was a good play. You know, it's the best they got. They just kind of got off to a rough start. Although, to be fair, it's like, yes, my opponent had a rough start. We literally just opened Dunsparce and passed. Like, we draw, pass. That's all we had. So, hey, you know, I'll take it. Yeah, they're going to sit here. They did their retreat. They didn't do a supporter for turn, but I don't know what would do it for them. I mean, we do have another energy in the deck, and even if we don't, I'll dig out an Arven. They go Roto Stick. What does that even do again? Reveal any number of supporter cards, put them in your hand. Stuff. So if they hit 3 supporter cards, they take a research. I don't know what you're researching for that could change the game, though. I don't know. Because again, like, you could go try to find a Dusknoir to fix the math with Blood Moon or Saluna to take a KO on Charizard, but you go Dusknoir, you give me a prize, you lose. Like, that's a hard fall. So I think right here my opponent is just kind of cooked. They got 3 prize cards left. They can't take 3 this turn, and there's their manual attach right down on Snorlax. So I mean, the research also isn't Crispin. They are also use their retreat, so they would need a switch out if they want to go in with Snorlax. But even if they do that and pull off an attack, they're not necessarily doing much after, and they go in for an Iono to put me down to 1 card and give themselves 3 cards. Now, I don't think they used Flip the Script yet, so that actually, no, they did use Flip the Script. Okay. And we get a Charmeleon out of the Iono, which is not a bad card to get. They do have the Stadium Bump. They do got the Post Wick down, but I think all they can do is Blood Moon for 240, which means I'm going to close out match number 3 with the legend Charizard EX. Swing 320. Take those last, well, I was going to say last 2 prize cards, but there's only 1 left, so we'll just grab the Rare Candy out of the prize cards and wrap it up for Charizard EX. This deck is nuts right now. I actually really like this build. I think this build is like very, very consistent. I think into the format we're seeing, its start is interesting because there's so many supporters in the deck, but I feel like that's kind of how the format has evolved to deal with like the Badoo item lock, the slower play of many decks. I think the speed in which decks have taken a turn for since rotation has obviously gone down, but I think Charizard brings back that old power level that we're used to dominating against a lot stronger and a lot faster decks. So I think this build of Charizard kind of brings that back a little bit. Honestly, I really like it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, though. Definitely let me know if there's any decks you guys want to see in the future. I'd love to give them a go. And yeah, with that being said, stay epic. Peace.